Hello my fellow chairs. Today we are going to be playing a secession game designed by everybody involved in the qualifier rounds of Parabellum this past season. So that means we're going to be seeing a game from Playmaker, from me, the student, Lemon Cake, and Lucas Ebella. Now each one of us is going to have approximately 40 years to go ahead and complete 3 objectives before we have to pass the game off to the next player. Now, what are these 3 objectives? Why are they here? Well, it's kind of more of little competitive fun between all of us players, basically to see who can complete these objectives and see who kind of has a point total at the end. Now, these tiers are going to be bronze, silver, and gold. The very first video is going to be posted up by the Playmaker, so I'm the second person in this entire campaign. He played from 1444 all the way up until about 1480, and so he had the hardest start playing as Granada. I'm going to have to see what exactly happened and how I'm going to go ahead and either fix or continue this campaign. Now, I'm going to be playing from 1480 until 1520. My objectives are to conquer the province of Alexandria from the Mamluks, form Al-Andalusia, and convert our nation to Ibadi. Okay, so looking at our nation, very first thing that I want to look at here, Playmaker has a tendency to go bankrupt in most of his campaigns. We are actually making 3 ducats a month, though I see that we actually have 11 loans. Now, that's not the worst, as we could have all the way up to 35 loans. That is going to make things a bit of a challenge, especially because I also see that we actually did not expand over here in Iberia at all. We just went straight into North Africa and even invading the Mamluk, using the Ottomans, our beloved ally over here. So we actually have a truce with these guys until 1486. In terms of ideas, you know, the Playmaker was supposed to go colonial. That's why you see we have exploration ideas here. I'm actually going to go ahead and drop exploration ideas, and I'm going to go ahead and pick up defensive ideas. And part of my decision making in doing that is simply we are actually 12 years ahead in terms of military technology here. In terms of Diplo, we are very far behind. We are 3 techs behind. Admin, we're 2 techs behind, so we're not going to have to worry about that. So that's why it's, in my opinion, good to go ahead and pick up the military ideas. Now, in terms of the Renaissance here, looks like Playmaker actually did develop Renaissance over here in our capital province, so we just have to get about 500 ducats and we can embrace it, and all of a sudden we can work on getting completely caught up in terms of technology. And what's also going to help us get caught up in terms of technology is we have a 616 ruler who is a kind-hearted, so monthly war exhaustion modifier, martial educator with yearly army tradition decay, and our heir is pretty darn good too. He's a 335. Now, as I mentioned earlier, one of the key things that we have to do, and actually the thing that's going to give me the most points, is converting our entire nation to Ibadi. Now, looking at the province here, there was a recent uprising, so we're going to have to wait we're going to have to wait 14 years before we could get the rebels to spawn and start converting our nation again. So in the meantime, what I'm going to go ahead and do is we're actually going to try and focus on getting some allies like Ajam over here and also a Dal, just to kind of build up our alliance chain, because we are just solely relying on the Ottomans right now. I mean, Ottomans, they can handle darn near anyone and everything, but I don't want to just rely on them. And I'm thinking for the first 6 years here, we're going to focus on these loans, try and get the Renaissance in our country so we could get caught up in terms of tech. So after selling titles and asking the Ottomans for a little bit of extra cash, I could go ahead and embrace the Renaissance. There we go. Take an admin tech and finally start getting caught up in tech here. Second idea group time. Knowing that we're going to have to go ahead and convert to a body, we're just going to go ahead and pick up religious ideas. It's also going to give us the Deus Volt CB, so we could literally, since we'll be like the only Ibadi nation throughout the entire world, other than the nation of Oman over here, we're going to have an easy way to literally attack all of our neighbors without having to spy on them whatsoever. Our truce with the Mamluks is over, but the Ottomans would not join in a war because they're too far in debt. They owe at least 1,414 ducats. That's definitely going to be a problem. I gotta wait till these guys pay off their debt at least a little bit more before I could invade the Mamluks, because I mean, regardless, at the end of the day, I need Ottoman help. Oh, and I mean, Ottomans won't join my offensive war, but you know what? They'll start their own. And yeah, I guess we'll join this. I mean, if I could get a white piece out of this, I mean, this would be fantastic. Luckily, I was able to white piece out of this, so that means I only have a 5-year truce with the Mamluks before I could come back after the Ottomans beat them up. I could go ahead and invade them. In the meantime, I'm also building up a spy network on Tunis in hopes that just maybe, I could full annex these guys. All right, with our truce with both the Mamluks and Tunis being over, we're gonna go ahead and invade Tunis. We're gonna go ahead and invade Tunis and co-belligerent the Mamluks, so then that way we could actually get some land out of them. I'm going to call them both Akkoyunlu and Ajam. Akkoyunlu actually has their 3-star ruler still. So this is going to be fantastic for me. And of course, we're going to be fighting both Tlemcen and Tugurt over here. And Ajam can bring as many troops, if not a little bit more than the Mamluks. So let's hope for the best here. All right, so far my allies doing a decent job against the Mamluks. The Mamluks still have 14,000 troops. I'm being focused on, of course, by all the North African guys over here. But we should be able to just barely win this. I mean, I just don't like how Ajam is not feeling good about this at all. That's not making me feel good. But I mean, once they get that capital over here, that kind of changes things, especially because I could get Alexandria guaranteed in this war, I feel like. I mean, I'm looking at about 37 peace deal. I literally just have to occupy, well, my ally just has to occupy Alexandria or the capital here, and we should be able to take all this stuff and directly connect our territory. Finally, we could get a peace deal with the Mamluks. I could complete my goal of getting Alexandria from these guys. We're going to get 250 ducats and war reparations from the Mamluks. Oh man, finally some progress against these guys. And the fact that we took Alexandria is huge, just because again, it completes one of my goals in this entire campaign. Now what I got to do is just simply finish off both Tugur and Tunis, and we own like half of North Africa at this point. And I'm going to focus on strictly becoming a body with the province of Mazab, and we'll see what type of damage we could do, maybe against the Stylians, but I don't know if that's ever going to happen, to be honest with you. And like that, we could go ahead and get all of Tunis, sorry, Laith, rip your homeland, but it's now Granada. All right, so now what I'm going to go ahead and do, we're going to go ahead and send a missionary here. I lowered my missionary maintenance all the way down to 0. This is just simply just to get the Ibadi people up in arms, and hopefully we could get them to start converting our country. And sure enough, here we go. We got the Ibadi separatists. I'm gonna go ahead decrease the autonomy because I want these guys to spawn up like now, because we only got like 16 years, well, soon enough to be 15 years. And I mean, if I already, like I said, got one of my goals, which is Alexandria here. If I could get Mazab to convert my nation to a body, that's a big dub for me. I don't know if we're going to be able to form Al-Andalus. And this is kind of looking like a trap war right here, because I really want to invade Castile so I could form Al-Andalus, but it's not going to happen. You know, I mean, Portugal and Savoy and Marrakesh would not join. Portugal would still join. Yeah, it's just not happening. So realistically, we're just going to be able to complete 2 goals. And I mean, I'm okay with that. I mean, it's better than nothing. What I'm doing right now is I'm literally just getting all these rebels to just go ahead spawn. Aside from yeah, you know what? We're going to provoke the Ibadi guys, just so then that way they could start converting things. I'm going to let them convert as many of these provinces as they possibly can. We have 13 years left. The majority of these provinces that they could convert would be fantastic. Okay, so all the other rebels have been dealt with. I'm literally just going to keep my army here, put my boats out just to prevent these guys from coming here, so I could have my army maintenance completely down. And hopefully, again, they just go on a complete conversion rampage would be fantastic. Alright, so this is kind of annoying right now. I cannot, just accept these guys' demands. I have to continuously wait. But my truce with the Mamluks is over, and for once, the Ottomans would actually help me. It would actually help me for once. Oh, man, what to do? I guess just continue to curry favors with these guys and just hope that they don't invade the Mamluks, because I guarantee you that they will. And if that's the case, they're going to come over here and they're going to just wipe out my body zealots, and I really, really don't want that. And there it is. Ottomans want to invade Mamluks. Of course I have to join this. Am I going to do anything? No, I'm just going to sit here. Well, I was able to sneak out of that war by just taking over like 100 something ducats away from these guys. So yay, we could pay off a couple loans. And we're down to 5 loans now. Well, now that's just unfortunate, but the Ottomans just got Egypt as an eyalet. But it looks like as long as I just remove these provinces of interest here, we should be able to actually keep that alliance with the Ottomans, which is going to be very, very crucial, especially going forward, because there we go. Now we could go ahead and just become a body. We are going to lose 10% of our crown lands. That's unfortunate, but at least we complete another goal, guys. And you know what? Now I can finally bump up my missionary maintenance. We can start converting all of this stuff. Okay, and the year's finally 1520, and it's kind of a rule of thumb. We have to make sure that our nation is not in any war, like hard wars, so like a death war. Like let's say I started a war against Castile. We also have to make sure that we are actually making money at the start of the next game as well. So we are making 2.86 ducats. I know I really didn't do much in terms of like conquest other than literally just taking out Tunis, and a little bit more land from the Mammer-Jammers and the Mamluks over here. But at the same time, I feel like we actually did a decent job of setting the stage for the next couple players. Just quite simply because we completed up defensive ideas. We are almost done with religious ideas. I'll leave that to them if they want to take that next idea, religious ideas. We completed a couple of our goals. One of them, obviously the really big one, swapping over to Abadi. So we are the only Abadi nation that's about to be left, because Oman's about to get annexed by the Ottomans. But, and then we also took Alexandria, which, Playmaker, thank you for helping me out with that, because you went ahead and conquered a good portion of Egypt right off the bat. Now, the only one that we did not accomplish for ourselves was actually forming Andalusia, which is a big loss, because Andalusia is such a good formidable nation. I mean, you can only do what you can do, and I mean, obviously Ottomans and my other allies, they don't want to fight the Castilians. They don't want anything to do with the Spanish at all. Even Aragon, they don't want anything to do with there. I mean, actually might luck out where actually after that war there might be able to actually invade Aragon, finally land in Iberia. And at some point I did try to ally France. That just was not happening. But yeah, that's what our nation's going to be looking like. Not in the worst of positions. It's just, it is going to be a bit of a struggle. And I will see you guys in the next one. Chairman out.